Duke held Virginia Tech to 13 second-half points the first meeting this year. But can they beat the Hokies for a second time this season in Blacksburg? Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. Let's bring in Special K, Clark Kellogg, to break down this game. It's a Saturday afternoon matchup. And, Clark, we got to start with Virginia Tech because they're coming off a huge win at Clemson. But it's a team that has had so many close losses. So what does a win like that do for this team moving forward for the last 2 weeks?
Well, I would think it has to buoy their confidence, Jason. I mean, you have as many close games as Virginia Tech has had, and then you go on the road and win one against a very good Clemson team. It has to make you feel good. And while you feel good and you're confident, you have to find a way to transfer that into the next outing against a Duke team that has to be pretty buoyed by how they played on the road against Maryland recently.
Absolutely. That win at Maryland was huge. And one of the things, Clark, that has been gotten a lot of publicity of late is what Mike Krzyzewski has done to his starting lineup, inserting Elliot Williams for the last three. What has that done for this Blue Devils team?
Well, a couple of things. First and foremost, you go from a guy who's not playing hardly at all in your rotation to now he's starting. It increases your depth. Then secondly, and probably just as significantly, it gives them a little more athleticism on the perimeter, which helps you defensively. It helps you in loose ball situations and playmaking ability. So I think those are probably the biggest things that Mike Krzyzewski has gained by starting Elliot Williams. And this young man has played extremely well, so his confidence level is high. His teammates are believing in his production, and that's got to be a good thing, especially as you do this relatively late in the season. I mean, it's an injection of energy and production that really may not have been expected to this degree. So it's almost like a little bit of found money, and you know Coach K won't waste it. No,
he won't waste it, and certainly won't waste the talent of Gerald Henderson, Clark. You know so much about some of the best players in the nation, but what he has done since the start of ACC play, there's nobody in the nation that can slow him down at this point, and I'm not sure Virginia Tech can do that either.
Yeah, you make a valid point. You know, when he came into college, everybody knew he was a 10 on an athletic scale of 1 to 10. Jumping ability, quickness, the things you look at just from an athletic standpoint. But there was a gap between his athleticism and his basketball skills. That gap has been closed significantly. He's almost a 10 in his basketball game now in terms of shot-making ability, handling the ball, aggressively taking it to the rim. And you're right. When he's taking good perimeter shots, the way he's improved his jump shot, and you start to crowd him, he's able to get by guys, and he can finish with the best of them at the rim, over and through people, getting himself to the foul line. He's a dynamic offensive player, and he can get it done at the defensive end too. I mean, he can guard guys, he can block shots, and that kind of player can elevate and carry a team a long way.
I heard a comparison the other day of Gerald Henderson to Grant Hill, and that's not such a bad comparison, Clark. He's getting up to that level here.
Yeah, I would. That's pretty high cotton to be compared to when you talk about what Grant was in college and what he's been as a pro when not hurt. That's a special comparison, but I could see where people would make that connection because both are athletic and smooth and about the same size and have the same kind of flow and charisma on the floor.
Clark, real quickly here, this is in your words because what Virginia Tech is trying to do is bolster its NCAA tournament hopes and all those close losses that are out there that could be wins, but instead they're on the L side. What does Virginia Tech in this game have to do, in your words, because this is a word that you taught me and I love it, to validate that win at Clemson?
Well, I think they've got to have a low turnover game. They're a team that doesn't run away from other teams. They don't blow people out. So that means you've got to be tight in your shot selection and shot making. You've got to find a way to maybe win the free throw game against Duke. And you've got to be in a position late in the game where it's competitive. You can't allow Duke to jump on you early. And if that happens, then I think they've got a chance. And they need big production from Vasallo and certainly Delaney, Malcolm Delaney, A.D. Vasallo. And I think Jeff Allen is going to have to produce at the level he's capable of, which is right around 14 points and 8 boards a game.
All right, we'll see if those guys can pick it up and get another win here for Virginia Tech and Seth Greenberg. Clark Kellogg, thank you very much, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure, Jason. Thanks.
All right, folks, and don't forget Selection Sunday just 2 weeks away from this Sunday. Be sure to watch every single game from the first round to the NCAA Championship live online for free with NCAA March Madness on demand. Go to NCAA.com to find out more. For Clark Kellogg, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.